Hey, what's up you guys, it's Spartan, and today we'll be doing a review on Mount Blade 2 Bannerlord. So in order to do a review that's as fair as possible, I have basically a 7 category rating system where it's going to be audio, gameplay, graphics, value, social, and technical aspects to make it as fair as possible. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Alright, so for gameplay, you basically start off as basically a no one with nothing but the weapons and the armor you bring into this life based off your past skills and your childhood. And you will go out into the world and you can basically do whatever you want. You can either recruit soldiers and level them up as fast as possible so you can take over a small castle over time. Or you can go into trading. You can become a bandit basically and just attack and raid village after village to get as much money as possible. Or you can basically just use the forging system and become a blacksmith and make as much money as possible. And one thing that's really cool is when you take over a settlement, you become a king or a lord, and you can start diplomacy relationships with other kings and lords or factions, and you can basically either declare war, you can start trading with them, or you can make alliances, which gets really complicated really quickly. This game has skill trees for each single character you have, so your companions too, and it has a complicated inventory system of basically horses, camels, and stuff like that to affect party movement speed and carrying capacity, as well as individual body armor for each part of your body. And also even horse armor, and you can have 4 different slots for weapons. And also your people need food, so you always have to carry around grains or some type of food to keep your guys fed. And another thing that's really cool is there is Garrison Forces and Militia Forces now, and there's also prosperity and food stocks for each single settlement. So each single settlement runs out of food if you have too many soldiers and your villages are collapsing basically and getting raided. So it adds like another level of complication to the game and strategy. And also every single settlement you see, you basically can go inside of. So like towns, for examples, you can take a walk around the town, which looks beautiful. And they also have keeps, arenas, tavern districts, and basically trading outposts, smithery, and every once in a while they'll settle tournaments also, which gives you a large amount of money and a random piece of loot. Alright, so another aspect I wanted to talk about is audio. So in Bannerlord, there only exists 7 different songs, which you can just search up Bannerlord in general, you can find the 7 different songs. It's like, I think it's 30 minutes total of songs. So the big problem you'll come across very quickly is that you hear the same songs over and over again. But, you know, that's not even too much of an issue, because those songs that they do have are unique to Bannerlord, and they are really good songs. Like if you have a nice speaker system and a nice bass, they stand out big time. And also I wanted to point out there's no NPC dialogue, like at least they're talking. And there's also let's just say like limited noises the characters make in game, because basically all they do is scream, and there's only like, oh man, what is it, like I think 5 different voices total in different pitches, so all the voices sound the exact same, which is really weird. And one thing that's really nice though about the audio is that like the horses running and like arrows flying past you, catapults hitting like castle walls, arrows hitting your shield, and swords clashing sound incredibly good. Like, I literally got a noise complaint because of how loud my bass got with just horses running around. And I think that's just hilarious. Like, they nailed what battles should sound like in this game, and it sounds amazing. It makes fights so nice and good. So I'll give that to Terrorlords. So overall, I would rate the audio, honestly, one of the highest aspects of the game, at a 95 out of 100. only a very few like flaws. Like even the audio, like characters not talking, is completely fine. It's such a big game. There's so much different dialogue. It's kind of like Skyrim. It's just not a big deal to me. It just comes with issues when everyone sounds the same, and there's just like no audio at all, even for the missions. Like I expect there to be a little bit, but overall this is near perfect. Everything sounds beautiful. So 95 out of 100, 9.5 out of 10. Alright, so the next category would be graphics. And this game, compared to Warband, is just insane with how beautiful it looks. I mean, the light rays, everything is just perfect. Your clothes basically sways with the wind. The grass looks realistic. The trees look realistic. Everything looks so good in this game. Your armor looks good. Your weapons look good. I mean, everything here. So like, I mean, just look how good this game looks. Like the lights, everything looks so good. Your character looks pretty good. I mean, it could always use improvements, but I mean, just in general, the game looks really good, and it's a huge improvement compared to Warband's AI and their characters. The only problem is there's not a lot of variety. Like the guys and their armor look almost dead on to each other, and they can start matching each other. But I will say their faces and stuff like that change every once in a while. But the variety that you can have of different troops and different armors is what makes it really nice looking. And the environment looks really nice, and like sieges at night can look absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, especially with the fire onagers and the catapults. Alright, so the value aspect. How much is this game worth? How much time can you put into this game? And basically, what do you get out of your money? So this, out of everything in this game, is its strongest aspect. Absolute strongest. There is potentially endless replayability in this game, with free mods that come out so often with this modding community. And basically, they change the entire world. They can change it into Game of Thrones, or Lord of the Rings, or whatever you want, whatever you can possibly imagine, and make this game so you can play this game forever, for literally like 10 years plus, like they did in Warband, which is really nice. You can't say that about any other game besides Minecraft. So easily, you can put 500 plus hours into this game without getting bored, and you can just keep playing this game over and over like I have. So I put in 500 hours in this game, and over 1,000 hours in Warband, just because of the sheer amount of content and the mods and everything like that just made that game keep going on and on no matter how long I played. And on Steam, this game costs $50, but it's on a discount until the end of this week, so that would be October 5th for $40. So for a $40 game or a $50 game, it is definitely worth it. Like, you will put at minimum 100 hours into this game before you beat the campaign. And on average, I'd say like people put about 250 into this game. And if you're really into this game, you can put literally infinite amount of time into it, thousands and thousands of hours. So this is definitely worth your buck. So value-wise, this game's 100 out of 100, 10 out of 10. Alright, so coming to the worst aspects of this game would be the social aspects and the technical aspects. Technical being the biggest one. The biggest reason this game gets 1 stars, and a lot of people don't even play it, or they'll stop playing it. So social, there is basically a multiplayer mode, and there's clans. In multiplayer, there's 3 game modes, which are pretty much completely dead. Like usually, like a max of, I'd say like 30 people per like search session basically, and then like you get private servers with like Siege Sunday that gets like 300, 250, but typically you won't see any more than 100 people on multiplayer, and then you'll see like 20,000 people on campaign. So there's a huge difference, and there's a very obvious problem with multiplayer that you can very easily see in both reviews and just players' interaction with the game. But I will say it is nice that they added clans, and they added basically a feature where you meet random people in multiplayer and you can add them and play with them later on, and they have like community events and stuff like that. But overall, multiplayer is really weak for this game, and that's not the reason you're going to get Bannerlord. The reason you're going to get Bannerlord is campaign. Multiplayer is just kind of like a distraction after you get bored of campaign and stuff like that. So I would rate social an 80 out of 100, so second lowest in the game. Alright, so the very worst aspect of the game would be the technical issues. And the reason so many people don't play this game or stop playing this game or get really irritated and leave like 1 out of 10 reviews is because this game has a lot of bugs. And I also want to mention this game is very demanding, and I have a lot of friends that can't even run this game. That's also a little bit of an issue, so like if you change your settings to the lowest settings possible, it doesn't do anything. Like CPU usage is just insanely high. Like even a i5 can't run this game. And they say it can, but it can barely run it. You need like an i7 or higher. But anyways, the game-breaking bugs that corrupt your game. Every once in a while, you will basically, your game will just go corrupt, basically. You will try to get into a fight, you try to raid something, or you try to attack peasants, and then your game will just crash on you. And you try to load into that game, and it crashes, and it keeps crashing, and you have to delete all your save files, and basically reinstall your game, and even that sometimes doesn't fix it, and there's no reason for it. So a lot of times, you will basically just get a corrupted game, and it will mess up everything. It will mess up like 200 hours of gameplay, which is what happened to me, actually 3 times. So this is a huge issue that they're working really hard to fix, which I give them credit for, but it's still a really big issue, and it might be because, you know, this game's not released yet, but that's a big issue in the game so far. However, I will mention, because technical actually like applies to settings and stuff like that, the graphical settings and the amount of different things you can change is really nice, as well as gameplay features like you know, you can turn off your flags above your guys, or you can turn off like, you know, casualty reports and stuff like that. For like a YouTube creator that makes videos, this is a really nice feature you don't see in a lot of other games. So I will give them that aspect of it. Like the controls in this game are really nice and the settings are really nice, but just because of how many bugs there are in this game, how many there are like people in multiplayer glitching through walls and just sitting on the side of the map, or, you know, like the sheer amount of times I run into NPCs glitching the walls and I can't win the game, or, you know, horses flying around, horses bugging through, people being huge, stuff like that. It's a huge issue in the game. And also corrupted files that you can't even play your game anymore. That's a big issue too. So overall technical, I would say about 75 out of 100. So the worst aspect of this game. Alright, so you guys are probably wondering, so after, you know, talking about all these different aspects of the game and giving all these different ratings, what is my overall opinion of this game and what is my overall rating? Let me tell you, I absolutely love this game, and it is really hard for me not to be biased, but I had to understand different people's points of view and why there's either people that are just addicted to this game and love this game, and people that just hate this game and refuse to play it and go back to warband. So I had to get both perspectives there to understand and be as non-biased as possible for my review. So overall, I would give this game a 90 out of 100 based off of the aspects I told you guys below and averaging them out. So completely non-biased, 90 out of 100. This is a 9 out of 10 game, and I highly recommend it to anyone looking to play this game, or anyone even like interested in this game at all or whatsoever. I would highly recommend playing it. And keep in mind, this is in beta, so everything will get improved over time, and Telltale's, basically like the developers, fix so many different bugs and have so many different updates nearly every other day that this game will just get better over time. Alright, so just to recap, audio is a 9.5 out of 10, and graphics would be a 90 out of 100, gameplay 100 out of 100, and then value would be 100 out of 100, social would be 80 out of 100, and technical would be 75 out of 100. making an average of 90 out of 100. So let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys put down below what your numbers would be. Like, give me anything that is different than mine. Like, rate it yourself and put that in the comments, and basically just talk about it. Like, what do you guys think about this game? Maybe why do you love this game, or why do you stop playing this game, or why did you never get it? Let me know down in the comments below, and leave a like if you found this video helpful or interesting, and I'll see you guys in the next one.